Fear is not just a feeling, it's a spiritual weapon the enemy uses to keep you small, quiet, and paralyzed, and if you don't confront it head-on, it will secretly choke your purpose while you sing worship songs and post verses online. You can pray all day and still be ruled by fear if you don't let God's perfect love invade the places you keep hidden, the ones you don't talk about, like the shame from your past, the anxiety about your future, or the crushing pressure to meet everyone's expectations except God's. The truth is, you can't cast what you've learned to live with, and too many believers have secretly made peace with fear, dressing it up as caution, discernment, or even humility, when it's really just spiritual hesitation in disguise. But 1 John 4 verse 18 doesn't say, perfect love tolerates fear. It says perfect love casts it out, throws it down violently, because fear has no legal right to exist where love reigns. If you're still battling fear, it's a sign you haven't fully received how deeply you are loved by the Father. Not just in theory but in the ugly, unspoken places where you still believe you're not enough. Some of you are scared of success because deep down, you don't believe you're worthy of what you're praying for. Others are afraid of failing again not because you lack faith, but because you still think God's approval depends on your performance, and that lie is costing you peace. Fear feeds on uncertainty, but love roots you in truth, and the truth is this: you were never meant to carry what Jesus already crushed at the cross. That addiction? Nailed. That trauma? Redeemed. That mistake? Covered. But here's the warning: if you don't let God's love become your identity, fear will hijack your calling and keep you hidden behind polite religion while your spirit suffocates in silence. Some of you are waiting for a sign, but God is waiting for surrender. Not the emotional kind, but the raw, costly, even if you don't kind that throws fear into the fire and chooses love anyway. Remember Daniel in the lion's den. Peace didn't come from the absence of danger, but the presence of confidence in who his God was. Fear says what if, but love says even if. That's the shift. That's the breakthrough. You think you need more boldness, but what you really need is a deeper revelation of how fiercely heaven fights for you. Romans 8 verse 15 says you didn't receive a spirit of fear, but of sonship. Do you live like a son or still think like a slave? Fear always whispers you're not enough, but God's love shouts back, I chose you anyway. And that's not motivational fluff, that's blood-bought identity. So what are you still afraid of? Being misunderstood? Jesus was. Being rejected? He was too. Fear makes you think you're alone in the fire, but Isaiah 43 verse 2 says not if you walk through the fire, he will be with you. The flames are real, but so is the one who stands beside you. Let this sink in. The enemy's only power is suggestion. He cannot create fear, he can only amplify what you refuse to surrender. But once you let love expose the root, fear loses its grip. You can't fight fear with logic. You fight it with intimacy, time spent soaking in the presence of the one who knows your name and calls you beloved even on your worst day. Love is not a theory, it's a weapon. And the more you wield it, the less power fear has to shape your decisions, your destiny, or your voice. You were born to be bold, not because you're fearless, but because you're fiercely loved. So stop waiting for the fear to go away. Step anyway. Speak anyway. Show up as if you believe God's love is enough, because it is. Perfect love casts out fear, but only if you let it all the way in.